Time for the business news. Delano D'Souza joins me now on set. Delano, we're starting off with the ongoing effects of Russian sanctions.
That's right. The food import ban, which was imposed last week from Russia, is hurting European farmers. Last year, the EU exported over 11 billion euros worth of agricultural products to the country. Now, at a meeting in Brussels on Thursday, an EU spokesperson said emergency measures would be announced next week. But food that's set to expire soon remains the biggest worry.
One of the key messages coming today has been that perishable vegetables are the sectors where the impact is the most urgent. We are in season for these products and suddenly a market has been lost and there's no obvious alternative outlet.
Take us through the markets this Friday.
We'll be starting off in Asia, where stocks are up following Wall Street's close on Thursday. All the indices are in the green, with the exception of Japan. As you can see, the Nikkei closed Friday's session totally flat. Let's move on to Europe now, where trading has just kicked off on this Ascension Day. Stocks higher across the board. As you can see there, the FTSE and CAC 40 up about 0.3%, whereas Frankfurt's DAX higher, but up about... less than 20%.
Now take us through some of the other business stories making headlines this Friday morning.
Coca-Cola has announced it will pay $2.15 billion to pick up a 16% stake in Monster Beverage. The deal will further strengthen Coke's presence in the energy drinks market, where its brands have lagged behind Monster and rival Red Bull. The company says it will expand the distribution of Monster drinks and place two of its members on the company's board. Banana distributor Chiquita says it won't accept a $611 million buyout offer. The offer was made on Monday by investment firm Safra and the Brazilian agribusiness and juice company Cutral. The company says the offer is not in the best interest of its shareholders. Chiquita will now instead focus its efforts on a merger planned with Irish-based Fifes, which it agreed to in March. One of Russia's state-controlled oil giants seems to be cracking under Western sanctions. Russian papers report that Rosneft has asked the government for some 34 billion euros to help repay its debt and weather the sanctions. Now, Rosneft is run by a close friend of Vladimir Putin and pumps about 40% of Russia's oil. And bad news for Uber. The company has been banned in the city of Berlin amid safety concerns. The ban also comes with the threat of a 25,000 euro fine for non-compliance. German authorities say they couldn't allow passengers to risk riding in cars that hadn't been properly checked. The San Francisco-based company has faced growing opposition, particularly in Europe, mostly from taxi drivers who say the mobile app threatens their livelihoods. Now, the Gamescom event in Cologne, Germany is billed as the world's largest trade show in the industry. Gamers, developers, and publishers are gathering there till Sunday to check out what's hot and what's not. And of course, that rivalry between Sony's PlayStation and Microsoft's Xbox is taking center stage. Nicholas Rushworth has more.
Welcome to Gamescom, the 6th edition, a venue for what's new in video games. And a battleground for two giants, Microsoft's Xbox versus Sony's PlayStation. Sony is demonstrating its Project Morpheus here. It's a virtual reality headset giving gamers a 90-degree field view.
It immerses gamers into a completely new experience, into a completely new world, breaking them off from reality. You are right in the middle. You feel like you're part of the gameplay. Something like this has never existed before.
Sony is celebrating at this Gamescom, announcing 10 million units sold for its 8th generation console, PlayStation 4. That is after 9 months on the market, and a contrast to Xbox One, also launched last autumn, which is estimated to have sold around half that. Virtual reality gaming is the top trend among the 650 exhibitors presenting new products and innovations. For people not wanting to bother with the 21st century, there is business too, not much admittedly, in games nostalgia. The retro section makes life seem so much simpler.
And finally, he's already one of the richest men in the world, and gosh darn, he's about to get richer.
That's right. The world's third richest man now. Shares in billionaire investor Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway broke a record high on Thursday to $200,000 apiece. Now, the stock price has doubled in just 8 years, and Berkshire has investments in companies like IBM, American Express, and Wells Fargo. The rising stock is likely to have a direct impact on Warren Buffett's personal wealth, which is estimated at $65 billion.
That's it, 65 billion?
Just 65. So you can buy a piece of that stock.
Yeah,
just
maybe I'll do
$200,000
that.
a pop.
All right, okay. Thanks, Delano, for that business news. And now let's move on to what's going on in the international